Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, yours truly, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 337. Birthday January is still going, chugging along. One more week. Just after this episode goes up, 3 more days. In 3 more episodes, I should say, and man, I'm ending July on a good note. Yeah, of course, I gotta shop that talking that shop. If you want to keep up with me online and all the crazy antics I do, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, both at Casting for Two. However you're listening to this podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, or the website. If you want to leave me a review, do so, and I will read it live right on now, whatever that means. Look, I'm tired. I got a headache and I'm sleepies. I got the sleepies. But you know what? No sleepies could stop me from talking about my guest today. My phenomenal guest, Mimi Torres, from the internet and also voiceover work. But she was also a part of Sugar Pine 7, the main core. And Mimi is a very special and fantastic person, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to sit down and chat with her because I really enjoyed it, and getting her insight of, voiceover acting and also the whole Sugar Pine events that took place was absolutely great. But I'm done talking because we need to get in this episode, all right? So everybody sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. I'm not gonna lie, I was freaking out a little bit because I can't say I've never used Google Hangouts, but less than 5 times.
Yeah.
And that's so, and I get I get nervous for new stuff because I want it to be done right.
Yeah, I used this a while back, but I haven't done a Hangout in a little bit, so. But I'm glad it's all working and set up and stuff.
Yeah. And now we're just hanging out. We're just chilling.
Perfect.
How is your day going so far?
It's going. It's been a bit of a hectic week for me. I have a lot going on, but today I'm getting ready to take off to VidCon in a couple of days, so I'm just kind of doing a bunch of prep for that. How about yourself?
Not bad. July is my busiest time of year. Because it's, the birthday of the podcast.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. It turned 6. Still not able to drink, but that's okay. And then I'm having to release all my RTX stuff this week, and it's just, and then more scheduling of interviews, and it's just, okay. For some reason, it all converges in July.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I mean, I like busy months personally, so if you like that, congratulations. And if not, I hope things slow down for you in August.
No. I'm fine with it, happening, 1 month or 2 month back to back, whatever. But, if it's constantly all year, I'm just, I need a break.
I understand that.
Because I really only take 2 weeks off, 2-3 weeks off a year from podcasting, so.
Wow. That's so constant.
Yeah, yeah, and it's even if I say, okay, I'm not going to take any, or okay, I'm done doing interviews, I'm still editing and still putting them out there, and it's,
Yeah.
there we go.
Well, it's a good thing you love what you do, right?
I do, yes, I do. It's a creative output, so yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
But so this is a very loose chat, very
Fantastic.
very chill. I don't want to freak you out or anything, but my first question is a pretty big question, and it'll tell me everything I need to know about you. So I don't want you to
okay.
freak out, okay?
I'll try.
All right. How much sleep do you get?
Not nearly enough as I want to. It's actually been one of my goals this year to get 9 hours of sleep a night because I'm one of those people that needs to sleep like I'm still a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm finding that I'm averaging like maybe 5 hours a night, which is painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you now, let's say in a perfect world or when you have nothing going on, if you get more than 9 hours, do you become a zombie after that? Or are you like refreshed and ready to go?
I'm typically pretty refreshed, although I've gotten to
Okay.
that point where like if I sleep more than 10 hours, my back hurts, which is
Oh,
so frustrating.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm that way too. If I get more than, the recommended sleep that I personally need, I don't want to do anything all day. I just want to take naps or, watch TV.
Well, that's a good way to spend a day, so I don't know that that's terrible.
Well, yeah, yeah, and I also have this. Speaking about running fear and anxiety, if I have to go somewhere in the morning, I will always wake up 30 minutes before my alarm clock because I'm always afraid I'm going to be late.
Oh my gosh, me too. I'm so bad. I have this chronic fear of being late because growing up, my dad was like, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And I have
Right.
that just like in my head. If I have to be up before like 6 a.m. for something, I will wake up every 30 minutes in a panic going, oh my gosh, I'm late. And most of my nightmares, I know a lot of people have nightmares about like being chased or by like zombies or monsters. My nightmares are about being late.
Yeah, no, it's a totally valid fear. When we during RTX, I was supposed to be at a panel, just to watch it, and the panel was at 2 o'clock. So I was like, okay, I'll get there by 1, and then my brain somehow turned 2 to 1, and I was just okay, I'll get there by noon, and so I got there at noon, and they were like, "What are you doing? You're too early,"
Oh,
and I was just not
but you
being
got a
late.
good seat, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do.
So there's a little silver lining there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's and the whole if you're not 15 minutes or if you're not early, you're late.
Yeah.
They like to hammer that in film school that if you're not 15 minutes early, then you're late. And my brain was okay. If the real call time is 15 minutes, then I should be 30 minutes early because then I'm really not late.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 30 plus 15, like 45, almost an hour early to everything.
Yeah, and living in a city like LA with traffic that's so unpredictable, I'm constantly 45 minutes early to everything just because that fear of getting stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse to me than that like anxiety that builds up inside of me when I am actually running late, which happens very seldom, but like I work myself up into like a sweat and I'm anxious, and then walking into a room like that is just the worst. So I'd rather be able to get there with enough time to like cool off and breathe, and I'd rather be bored for a little bit than just like cruise in and walk in right on time.
How long did it take you to adjust to the LA traffic and all that? Because first let's back up. Where are you from?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
I'm used to traffic.
Yeah.
LA traffic. The difference between San Francisco and LA is that San Francisco is 7 miles by 7 miles,
Right.
but there is tons of traffic in that tiny amount of space. And LA is such a huge urban sprawl that you hit pockets of traffic. So it's like you have to prepare to randomly hit traffic instead of there being the constant traffic that there is in San Francisco. I feel like the traffic in San Francisco is a little bit more predictable. LA has unpredictable traffic where like you'll be coming home at 2 a.m. and there's like a standstill on the 405 and you're like, what is going on? It's 2 a.m. Go home and sleep.
Everybody get out and go to sleep, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Jesus. But and I'm curious, when did you, I like asking people when they found their thing. In your case, when did you know acting was something you wanted to pursue?
Well, I started acting when I was 8, and it was, I immediately fell in love with it. And so I did it all throughout elementary and middle school and high school. And once I got to high school, I knew that nothing else really pulled me like being in my theater class did. And so I knew I wanted to do something in the realm of acting, but I had a teacher pull me aside at one point and say, you know, you have a really unique voice. You should look into voice acting. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And in hindsight, I'm thinking that she knew that I was a bit insecure about acting with my body, and she felt like I would be more successful if I didn't have to worry about what to do with my hands, which they become this strange thing attached to your body when you're acting, and you're like, oh God, I've never noticed these before. Like, where do I put them? So that kind of planted the seed for voiceover, and then am I answering too much of this question? Am I going too far? Have I skipped over?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. So I guess after high school, I went to San Francisco State University, and my dad was like, you got to go to school and you got to get a business degree. You can be an actor, but I want you to have something to fall back on. So I did a miserable year at San Francisco State University. College was absolutely not for me. I just felt like I was drowning, to be honest. And one day my dad called me and was like, hey, I know that college just isn't for you. If I was listening to the radio today, and there is a school in Sausalito, which is right across the Golden Gate Bridge, and they're called Voice Tracks SF, and it's all voiceover, and it's more like a trade school. He was like, if you want to quit San Francisco State and you want to go over there, you have my blessing. And I was like, yes. So I immediately dropped all my college stuff and started commuting across the Golden Gate Bridge to take voice acting lessons in this tiny little studio with a beautiful view of the bay. And I really haven't looked back since. And it's just been, it's been where my heart is, and it's been what's made me happiest.
I remember, this was a couple months ago, but my buddy, I like to hang out when he streams in his chat and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And there was a Law and Order Telltale game that we weren't aware of. And we were sitting there, he was playing it, and I'm just, why does that voice sound familiar? And it was you. It
was me. That was I think that was my first video game ever, actually. If you could probably tell how nervous and ridiculous I sounded in that.
Oh, but, no. I mean, the character was nervous. She committed a crime, maybe. Possibly, so.
Yeah, that was, I recorded that at Somatone in, I think Somatone is in Berkeley. Yeah, it's in Berkeley, right by Leapfrog, and there's like a little hub there of a bunch of little startups there. And that was my very first video game, and I was so nervous, and it was so fun. Working with the Telltale people was amazing.
Nice. And so, what is the process like for now? You know, I know you said that you do voice acting. You never look back. Do you have any interest in maybe doing more? Maybe on screen, producing, directing, anything like that?
Well, yes. I mean, so coming off of Sugar Pine, that was an opportunity for me to get to play and act every single day as well as produce. And I just currently, in the last year, have gotten an on-camera manager, and I'm really hoping that I can find some success there as well. I have a production company with one of my best friends, and we make short films and we act, direct, write. We kind of do the whole thing, and I love every aspect of it. So I'm open to anything and anyone that will have me in this industry.
There we go. What kind of projects are you looking to do? Like as far as like story or character wise for yourself?
I really like things with a darker theme. I love westerns. When I remember I watched Deadwood quite a while ago, and I just connected with it. When I was born in Hayward, California, but I lived on a ranch in Sonol. It was a 1,000-acre ranch, and my dad had built a couple of the houses on it, and I just loved it. It just felt so amazing. And this was a ranch that they had actually filmed a ton of westerns on years and years and years ago. And so it kind of felt like part of that was in me, and watching Deadwood really just kind of lit this fire in me that was like, oh, I want to ride a horse, and I want to shoot a gun, and I want to just make movies that are dark and gritty. And yeah, I want to make anything that's like Deadwood. And we actually had a chance to do a short film back in 2017 called Dark West, and it was our very first modern Western that we ever did, and we are hoping to eventually make a feature-length Western.
Nice. I'm down for Westerns. My dad hammered Westerns when we were young, like all the Elvis Westerns and John Wayne Western, like everything. So I'm it has a special place in my heart.
Oh.
So, but and as far as your personal channel goes, is that what kind of are you looking to do more? Like vlog style for yours, or is yours just going to be kind of like a variety of things?
Oh, for YouTube.
Yeah, for YouTube. Yeah.
I'm kind of at this point where I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and find out what sticks. I don't think I have the discipline to do like a daily or a weekly vlog. That just doesn't seem like something that I can commit to, and I feel like I was disappointing anybody who subscribed to my channel because I wouldn't be able to keep it up. So I have a couple of ideas in mind, but I think they're going to be just little one-offs. I want to do a little bit of comedy here and there as well. I'd love to do an episode about voiceover because I feel like I think people are interested in that. I mean, I am, so I'd watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're the second, third, fourth, like fourth person I've talked to who actually does voiceover, and I'm always amazed how, you think, oh, but you're not using your body to act, blah blah. But I mean, you have to do more with your voice than anything else.
Well, yes, because what does a raised eyebrow sound like?
Exactly. Well, it's like reap. So I'm like, I don't know. But what sort of things do you do to take care of your pipes, your vocal cords?
I drink a lot of tea. I try really hard if I'm around somebody sick to wear one of those, what are they called? Like a medical mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wear them on planes. I look very silly, but I would rather, I'm somebody who, I have a very sensitive throat, and when I get sick, the first thing to go is my voice. So I'm constantly trying to make sure I'm getting enough vitamins and protecting myself whenever I'm around any sickness. But I really don't do anything super special beyond just trying to stay away from the germs.
If I could, I would wear like a everyday hazmat. Like the formal hazmat, the casual hazmat suit, just to protect me from everything out there.
Full body?
Oh, of course.
All right.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
I would shower in a full hazmat suit if I could.
I mean, I take my shoes off when I go inside, so I can kind of relate to that.
Wait. I don't know why. So I live in San Antonio.
Okay.
And but I grew up in Oregon, and taking off your shoes was a normal thing that everybody did. And it's so weird that people don't do that here. To me, anyway. It
just feels wrong to me to wear shoes on the inside, and that's coming from somebody who, like, my parents aren't big on, like, taking your shoes off when you come inside. But for me, there is so much gross stuff on the street that I don't want it in the house. And then I think about, like, well, even if you are walking around, like, right before bed with your socks on, you're picking up the street stuff from your shoes and putting it in your bed. And then my head starts to spin. And yeah.
No, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little gross here, but, at work, people walk around, they go in the bathrooms, and then they see these couches there, and they're like, oh, I'm going to take a load off, lay down, plop their feet on the cushions. And if I'm in there, I'm giving them a scowl because I'm just like, ugh, do you know where your feet have been?
Wait, there are couches in the bathroom?
No, in, like, the break room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they huh. Yeah, no, why not? Whatever.
It's truly a restroom then.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you do your resting, Mimi? but yeah, no, and I'm not even a huge germaphobe, but I'm just like, come on, that's common sense. Right.
Yeah. And I am a huge germaphobe, but I recently adopted a dog, and so I'm kind of learning how to kind of deal with a little more mess and germs in my life. I'm still at the point where I use a baby wipe and I clean his paws when he comes inside.
Aww.
But, I don't have to bathe him. Like, not being able to bathe him every single day because it's not good for his skin was really hard for me at first. But now I'm like, okay, it's all right. We can let a little bit of life in, a little bit of germs in, and I'm not going to die.
Right.
So, and I used to be super anti, like, dog licking my face.
Oh, yeah.
But my little guy is just so perfect that he gives me kisses and I'm okay with it.
I'm glad that you found the perfect little furry guy that you're like, yes, you can kiss me.
Me too. He's pretty great.
But then you read these things that dogs' mouths are cleaner than humans, and I'm just like, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I believe it. Yeah.
So I kind of didn't want to talk too much about the sugar pine stuff. Because I know, there's been, huge pour of support from everything that happened. And I was lucky enough to talk to Clayton at RTX, and we talked in depth. And when that whole thing was going down, was it hard for you not to say anything?
It was, because it felt like I was keeping a secret from the people that deserved to hear it the most, because we wouldn't. First of all, let me say that Sugar Pine ending, was heartbreaking, but not many people get to say, I worked on a show for 2 years and I got paid to do it, and I got paid to come to work and play and be creative. Not a lot of people in LA can say that, and I get to say that. And if it wasn't for the people that watched, it wouldn't have been possible. So not being able to tell them right away was so hard, and it felt really wrong. I understand why they wanted us to wait to announce it, but it was so hard not to let people know, especially when there are people wondering, like, is everything okay? It didn't feel right, but I know that it was what needed to happen.
Mm-hmm. And that was part of it, because at first I didn't want to talk to anybody from Sugar Pine, because I didn't know where everybody was, where, I didn't want to pick on any wounds, stuff like that. And Clayton was just like, no, dude, we need to talk because people need to know that we're fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It feels like, for a lot of us, it feels like Sugar Pine was more of just like a starting point. It wasn't this, just because it didn't end the way that we were hoping that it would end, doesn't mean that something beautiful didn't grow out of it. And we're all getting the opportunity to move into different directions. Through Sugar Pine, I was connected with the band The Rex, and now I'm producing music videos for them. So it's like I have this whole new path that I'm going down. And if it wasn't for Sugar Pine, and it wasn't for Sugar Pine ending, I might not have gotten this opportunity, as well as starting my own channel. I think it was so comfortable to be on somebody else's channel and live in that world.
Right.
And it felt really unsafe to do my own thing. And then it kind of felt like I kind of got pushed in the pool, even though I wasn't ready to swim. But like, okay, hey, I'm in the pool now, and I'm going to see what I can do. It might be great. It might flop, but at least I'm going to try now.
Yeah. And how did your time at Sugar Pine affect your work ethic today?
I learned how to work very quickly at Sugar Pine. There wasn't a lot of time for prep. It was like, okay, we're going to do this huge shoot tomorrow. And it was like, okay. So I learned how to, work quickly.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's a skill that, I think it's going to help me for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Were you also in charge of location scouting and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that frustrating? Like, we need a bar yesterday. Let's go.
Yes, it was. But I also learned how to get stuff quickly. So now when I have a week or a month to produce something, I'm like, no problem. I got this. I can get it all done, in a week. And it looks great to the people that I'm producing for. And they're like, wow, that was so fast. And I'm like, yeah. It was fast.
I think getting locations is a very underrated art in the film industry. What sort of things would you say to get, or the stamp of approval to shoot in a location? I'm more curious for myself now. That's why I'm asking.
I'm a little bit confused by the question. So what?
Yeah. Because I know in the past when I needed to shoot in whether it was a short film or something in a location, I was always like hit by no's or people not understanding. What kind of tips do you have to turn a no to a yes, or is it basically just asking the right owner?
I think for me. The thing is I haven't gotten that many roadblocks with things, but I always open offering to, promote them in any way that I can. We did so I'm a little sidebar, but we did an episode at this place called the Dog Cafe.
Yes.
And we went and we filmed an episode there. And they were so, I let them know, like, we will put our link in the description. We have a good number of subscribers. We can get you some press for this,
Mm-hmm.
And we paid for the opportunity to be there. But then we offered them some promotion. And while I was there, I offered to do some voiceover for them for free since they were so accommodating for us. And so it's just kind of like, offer them something as well. If you're going to get something from them and if you have something to offer, it never hurts. It never hurts to say, hey, like, if you let us use this, I'll do X, Y, or Z for you. So that I would recommend, find a skill that you have and offer that to them in exchange.
There we go. See, we used to do that cliche, like, oh, this is for a student project. Mm-hmm. And they'd look at me like, aren't you like 45? I'm like, shut up.
I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah, it's never too late to go back to school. Come on. Didn't you see that one J-Lo movie?
Yeah.
For the people at home who want to keep up with everything that you do, follow you on the online, where can they do all that?
Across all social medias, you can find me at Mimi_can_voice. And on YouTube, if you search Mimi Torres Official, I should pop up in there.
There we go. Mimi, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with me. I hope that you continue kicking butt and taking names because I think I like the content that you did with Sugar Pine.
Thank you.
I would be lying if I said I didn't cry at your YouTube video that you released not so long ago.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, nothing but support for you over here. All right.
Thank you, and the same to you.
Thank you. But I'll let you go. Conquer the world or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully. I think I can squeeze that in between 3 and 4 today.
You know what? I believe. If there's one person I believe could do that, I believe in you.
Awesome.
But I'll let you go. And again, have a wonderful day.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, just real quick. I
Yes.
recorded this on a shotgun through Audition. So if you want my audio, if you need it, I do have it for you.
Okay, yeah. If you want to email that to me, yeah, that'd be great. You know what? Can I be honest? Mm-hmm. I was like, her audio is so good. That can't be her microphone, like your headset mic. But I wasn't questioning it.
Yeah, I'm on a Sennheiser.
Oh my gosh! This is why you're awesome. You recorded your own audio on a Sennheiser. Oh. The world doesn't deserve you, Mimi. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. All right. Well, you have a great day, and I will email this over to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Bye.